So we have actually 6 eggs.
6 eggs.
One is a control too.
Yeah.
And only one is a pheasant. The rest are quail.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so we can go that way.
All right. Hear them.
We should handle these things here in the VMT laboratory because although they are not considered to be animals yet, they are sort of cell groups or something like that.
Cell groups.
Yeah, so embryos are here in the Netherlands not supposed to be animals or live beings or something, but they are just groups of cells, so we can handle them in this laboratory, which is already kind of a funny thing. Oh, so this is also new for me. It's the first time I do it with eggs, but I have been reading some papers, and the way people do it is they just wrap the eggs in, I think, for example, aluminum foil, and we put them to sleep on ice for half an hour or so, so they die of hypothermia. And then we can just process them in the regular way. So we drop them into paraformaldehyde and we wait for some hours. If you're okay with that.
Do you want Valium in yours?
I want Valium.
You want Valium? And these two get Valium. Jenny, yours is the pheasant?
Yes.
Okay. Animal. Yeah? I'm just making a little hole.
Yeah, I did some readings, like historical readings, that, like when they started out. But
vitro thing. And of course they may have some degree of truth in what they say, but I think that you can learn a lot from
This one they'll end up dead before we see them. I guess we could look if you want to look inside.
Yeah.
You know, that depends a lot on how is your definition of life.
But the whole technology to culture cells outside of the body, that's an in vitro technology or not? I mean, like literally, like
to
taking
me,
cells
in vitro, it's
in
something
glass.
that just takes place inorganically, I would say. So, that doesn't have any sort of biological process in there. But the moment that you have something that has its own independence, let's say, that can grow and at least reproduce or something, then I tend to think that that's alive.
Okay. I was wondering, anyways, how this whole idea of organic and inorganic chemistry got more and more,
Very red.
not anymore like black and white, but rather a sloping slide.
Like somatic machine. This one's been MRI'd.
DNA. What's
3D.
the difference? Synthesized DNA. You
It's
can also
transgenic and it's
inject
Miriam's
synthesized
somatic machine.
Right.
I opened up the window for yours so you can so you can see inside.
Okay, I have to put
She
on my
made this one.
glasses.
You saw the MRI.
Yeah.
She's waiting to see still, and I still haven't seen the 3D. It took 4 hours. But a nice high-res 3D reading of this.
Okay. Oh.
I think you have growth.
Yeah.
I don't know if the plasma took.
Is it still alive?
You put some gloves on. You're pregnant.
Oh, sure.
You better do that. Okay, I go.
Should I open it more?
Wow, there's really something.
There is.
Amazing.
There is.
Okay, it's good.
I think there may be like, we see something like a body, maybe the beginning of feathers. It seems responsive. Where's your gloves,
Yeah,
Miriam?
he's going to get
You
me
don't
some
care.
small
Good for
ones.
you. Good for you.
This is really...
Give that to me until you put your gloves on. That's recombinant safety. So we did okay, Mark, huh?
We need to talk about these eggs. These are from, what kind of eggs are these?
These are quail, quartel.
Quail.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're...
What is the say? Do you have a safety list of animals and?
No. It's not the animal. That's not the problem. There might be maybe a small problem that we have to add something to the
To the what?
I want to discuss it with you.
Oh, add something to the what?
To the permit.
To the permit to add these organisms.
Yes, we are. It's totally legal to use these factors.
Yeah.
Yeah. What he was talking about was that
But they will.
Even though we cleared the embryology lab and we cleared the plasmid, the mixing of this plasmid
No, but we
with
couldn't
those
see
organisms,
if the embryos because
we don't have a permit.
Well, but you are going to open the eggs.
and in particular,
yeah.
no one
okay.
has ever added these plasmids to quail or pheasant.
Just going to super.
And so they're trying to include quail and pheasant retroactively as research subjects for this plasmid on the permit, so that
Amazing.
we don't get in any trouble.
Looks like this, so.
Yeah, what do you think?
Is this okay?
Oh my God,
Die in style, I would say.
you didn't expect it to be this mellow, huh?
This is the actual egg.
Nicely
This
done.
yeah, this yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you bury them or just like leave them sticking out the top?
I would just put them on top of the ice. The
Is that
temperature.
enough?
Is that enough? Well,
But that's up to you. I mean,
Yeah, right? Smart.
I leave out of it.
one small antenna.
Okay, so, well, this is actually like, am I right?
Oh, maybe I
Would you guys like
mushed
another
it up
one?
a little bit. This is the dying part.
Yeah, they're dying. It's up to you. I just need to get some. So this
shall we
is
start counting half an hour from now, you think?
That's good.
Yeah?
an hour or two.
And factory goes out at last.
So yeah, do we say goodbye to them? Goodbye.
20 minutes to 5. Time to die.
Yeah, I have fratricide.
Do you guys think that you are killing these things now, or which is your feeling? Because
I'm still not, I mean, if you believe your in vivo cultures are alive, I mean, this is then alive as well.
do you have some emotions about that, or?
Not really.
No.
I don't know. I was just more interested. I would have loved to autoclave mine, just for knowing what it means if you try to really sterilize your own body totally, how it looks like afterwards. It's a cool sort of making a dye, I guess. But I thought I was more interested in how this process would take place than.
So why are you asking?
Well, no, because I was just thinking that one of the possible conclusions could be that for you guys, art is more important than life in this moment, right? Is that true?
I wouldn't consider this art either.
Like that.
No, not so
I consider this art, and I
Yeah.
don't know if art is more important than life. But I think of these organisms as sculptural. But I also consider you and whoever made the plasmid and the science that came before it to be collaborators in a sort of morphological difference. That when I inject it in, to me it's sort of like I'm adding a difference. And it's a signature of me, but it's also a signature of all the engineering before it, and also it's a collaboration with the genome of the organism and its microtubule development. I'm kind of not just interested in the results, but also the process and what it means to make something that's alive, that shows your mark, like a marker, right? And so, yeah, to me it's actually it is art in it. So, and I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the difference between art and science and what life is worth, and what the results of art and the results of science are, and how they're different, and which one is worth more life. But I don't know.
I look upon it as a process of displacements. So it's when I got it in my hand and I do something to it. It's for me, it's art. It could be food, but this time it's art.
Yeah.
And I put it on ice, and then you are going to look at it, and then it's displaced into the framework of science again. And it can come back when it's imaged, and I look at it and try to consider what kind of image it is.
Yeah.
So it's I see it as a process of constant
Going back
displacements and shifts of meaning.
That's wild.
I rather, when I injected it with the plasmid, that was the moment when I thought like, now I knew then that it was still alive. And then I thought like, I don't think this will survive it.
So
And at that moment,
no
and
return.
when I punched it, the egg yolk went all yellow, and I was like, I think we just, had a unique, a unique moment in time together, and that was it. So. Yours is more like I think yours is still alive. So this is the crucial moment.
But that was also when I opened it up, and I saw this this blood vessel thumping.
Beating, yeah.
And that was the moment I thought, well, this is not some sort of conceptual object, but it is really something.
Yeah, something throbbing with vitality.
So I kept it warm in my décolleté, and at once, and that was just the first week when I started to feel for the first time my own baby from inside.
Yeah.
So because I kept it, I didn't relate it to each other, but at once I thought like, oh, I may feel something. I was like, oh no, this is not from the end. This is way too close. I have to get it out.
Right,
I want
you
to
couldn't tell the difference.
I have never opened an egg scientifically, let's say. So let's see how it goes. Maybe it just explodes all around the place and we cannot see anything, or maybe there is some structure in there that we can save.
I found one. Yeah. But what about the effect of microtubular disruption? This plasmid affects it in a certain way. Is there a place that it gets jammed up?
Yeah, well, I was explaining that to them that it has been because what we are or what you injected it's not just RFPs, but it's a fusion protein in between the protein that binds the cytoskeletal proteins and RFP. So RFP for us is just a marker.
Yeah.
And it has been described before that this protein is involved in the development of the central nervous system. So in principle, if something goes wrong, you would expect to have some alterations in the brain structures or something like that, if the protein was expressed in the brain. If it was expressed in other organs, maybe you see other things.
Yeah.
We can do it to open the eggs, extract the embryos on those petri dishes.
I'm really curious how that looks like.
On the tubes.
You're gonna.
So did you have to sign something?
No, there's no paper trail yet, but they're trying. I'm trying to get it all on paper when it gets cleared, but we'll see if it gets cleared.
I'll be back in a second.
Yeah. I think Carlos is into it.
How do you spell sarcophag?
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 Sarcophagi?
I don't know. You know
in English.
Yeah.
That was the guy from Recombinant Safety, and he cleared me for using the plasmid in the building because it was covered by the permit. And I was cleared by the Animal Experimentation Committee to use pheasants and quail embryos as long as they were not born. And I was sort of told that it was okay to add the plasmids to the embryos because they're not born, so they're not a recombinant danger when they become transgenic because they can't reproduce and they can't run away. But what it turns out is that there is no permit for that plasmid to be used on those organisms. They used them on mice and rats and all sorts of things, but they hadn't written down quail and pheasant on their list of animals that were for use on the permit for these plasmids. So they're trying possibly to see if someone will add quail and pheasant to the list of animals that can be used on the permit retroactively. Two things can happen. One is that we would be not allowed to publish scientifically anything from this. The other thing that could happen is that possibly they would want to censor me from publishing anything about this artistically, because that would include a kind of publishing, and you're not allowed to utilize images or data from experiments that aren't cleared by permit. The other thing that might happen is a little bit worse, whereas someone might come down on this and say this is against the law, which actually I tried quite heartily to avoid, but I sort of had to tell the guy from Recombinant Safety that, people might not just search on the internet to see if we publish scientifically with me that I'm a public figure, and so people are watching me, so he might want to know that. But Yeah, we have the beginning of probably like the thing is, I think Carlos enjoys it, and some scientists are probably enjoying it too. Some are enjoying the idea of me getting crucified, and other people are enjoying that I'm having the same problem that scientists have, and they maybe want to make public how crazy it is to try to work experimentally.
Joden van de Nijl, die zeiden dan ook als ze dat gingen doen, dit voor dat.
Ja,
dus, en ik dacht, het is zo'n mooi concept, omdat dit eitje, deze kwartel-eitjes, die kan je voor voedsel natuurlijk gebruiken. Kwartels kan je eten. Maar ze worden in de wetenschap gebruikt. Ja. Maar ze worden ook in de kunst gebruikt nu. Ja. Dus het is inderdaad een soort verschuiving van... Het is, laten we zeggen, het is een wetenschappelijk object. Maar het is ook een kunstobject. Ja. En het is ook gewoon een object van voeding. Ja. Ja. Maar. Dus ik dacht, voeding is het beste eigenlijk wat je kan... wat we allemaal nodig hebben. En wat vooral in de Joodse... in de Joodse cultuur heel erg belangrijk is om een feest van te maken. Ja. Dus vandaar dit feest.
Ja, en dan kan je dit voor dat. Ja, doet mij dan ook zo denken aan de manier hoe hier modelorganismen...
Zoals in de wetenschap natuurlijk ook organismen of dieren gebruikt worden om iets anders
als model voor iets
anders, inderdaad. Ja.
Okay. Oh yeah, then you can do your Yom Kippur ritual then.
Have any idea on how old were the embryos when you injected them?
They told us
3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
3 or 4 days. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and then we saw on the pallet like embryos taken out of eggs from like day 0 until day 10 or 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you did see some differentiation, but not much. It was still, more or less a lump of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know how long it's the whole development of the embryos?
I just looked on the link. He gave it was
22 days, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so they were pretty small, young embryos.
Yeah. And I think they have to be sacrificed this week.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they get too old, and maybe they would hatch soon. And then they turn into an animal, right?
Yeah. That's what they say. Yeah.
Hey Adam, we have 30 seconds left and then we get out our eggs. You want to come? Okay.
Because we use this.
Okay. Just you can open it.
Yeah. So these are the tools that we are going to use to open the eggs. While you are going to use. Mm-hmm. And we have these very precise and tiny scissors here that you can use to cut the egg and extract the embryos also.
And are they all sterilized or not?
No, because we are going to drop everything in formalin. So
and it's dead anyway.
Not really necessary.
So at this moment doesn't matter.
No,
Okay.
not anymore. Yeah.
Not anymore. Okay. Well, you may want to start.
Formalin. So I think we can put something like 5 milliliters or so in those tubes.
Yes.
You want to do that yourselves?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show you how to do it. This is a pipetter, we call it. So it's a sort of pump.
Yeah.
And I get you some pipettes from here. But you just
I like
something
to measure.
this.
Yeah.
So and you suck in, and the other one is to suck out. There are serious consequences, but just for the formality.
It's almost good, right? I mean, I heard there's something with the head of my lab said when I got here, I said I have to go see all this legal stuff. He said,
this one is
we have a Dutch intersection rule in science that you just go through it and then you find out what ticket you got,
Yeah.
And I said to him, I can't do that, I'm an artist. So just slap me really bad, We're switching roles today.
So, this for that.
I would be careful, but you can also be messy careful. And also, what Mark Fluchert said, where are your lab coats?
Ik denk dat dit mijn embryo is. Denk jij dat ook meer?
Ja, dat denk ik ook, ja. Maar kijk nou dit nou.
Oh. Oh, kijk eens. Oh god.
I would have used my fingers by now. That's the eye.
The eye.
Yeah.
Oh. Amazing.
I think
It
it's starting
looks
to
like-
get feathers are here
Yeah,
because that's why
here.
it's so dark.
Here. It's,
Yeah.
You see feathers?
yeah, it looks like kind of feathers.
If you tease it, can you see a wing lift up? Go easy.
This is like, you know, a small limb.
Yeah. Chicken wing.
So. Yes, I
You
am.
want to keep the whole thing, or you want to keep only the embryo?
I think it looks beautiful
Yeah.
as a whole.
Okay.
Yeah.
The colors are
Yeah.
just great.
Contrast.
It really looks beautiful, I think.
We go.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Amazing.
It looks like it has, you know, wings.
I think it has little feathers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The feathers
Yes.
growing. I've seen them do tissue grafts where the feathers just grow out of a square of tissue. The eye is very big,
Uh-huh.
and it appears dead.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there was an embryo.
Wauw.
There's not
Ja,
much blood.
echt fantastisch meer.
Ik had me opengemaakt en toen was er duidelijk leven in te zien, zeg maar. Met dus een soort kloppend hartje, zeg maar, een kloppend bloedvat, denk ik dat het dan is, bloedcellen. En heb ik het met plasmid ingespoot, heel voorzichtig. No, because I thought I ruined it, you know, because when I put the plasmid in, it went murky, so I couldn't see what I've done. So I felt bad about that, I must say. Yeah, but I changed my idea about what to do because I was planning to just scratch it, but when I saw this beating, I just couldn't do it. You know, it's. But of course, I know injecting it with plasmid is, of course, much more damaging, I think, than scratching it. So I was surprised that it wasn't dead anyway and grew.
So I think it would have made it into a bird. Yeah. It looks to me pretty much developed. So,
It looks
yeah.
okay.
But what would
It looks
have
okay,
the
but-
plasmid? What would have done it?
Well, I would expect it to induce some malformations in the embryo. We will see that if it's possible on next
Could
days.
be malformations.
Yeah.
In the makeup of the
It could
cells
be.
within the bird.
We
Yeah.
will see, but in principle, it looks to me like pretty well developed. So it has
Yeah.
things that you can immediately identify. So I think it would have made it through
That's interesting.
the birth.
I don't think this one. I just want to make a mess. Well, I'm going to turn it over and see.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. I know my technique is a little bit raw. It
Automatic
seems.
machine. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give us nightmares, but I think the arms are
Yeah.
held together
Yeah. Looks like it.
on the head, right? So it's sort of like holding its forehead.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, as if the beak is
Yeah.
attached to the arms, or?
No, the hands are attached to the top of the head.
Oh, okay.
So it's really curled up in a fetal position. Which makes some sense. It does seem to have just one eye.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You want to prepare my
You notice
gloves?
Corliss?
On this
On this side is black.
Yeah.
This side is black.
One for that, for that.
This side is not.
I think.
So
Oh, yeah, we
Which
have.
one was it?
Yeah, we didn't do that.
that's
one
interesting.
yet.
Can we see the
Oh, but we, that
microscope?
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of weird.
It's telling that the model
With the
organism
eye.
made it so well.
Yeah.
It's one big eye and one just
Yeah.
sort of eye hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe I can't tell about the brain shape, but we'll check it out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well done.
Thank you. I think something's going on here.
Okay.
We need to really check this out, right? And I think a lot of art projects are sort of like this, where we're like, can I stick this in this? Sort of old style science, what you're talking about. 100 years ago, that's how science all was, and now it's all become bureaucratic. And it's interesting because many artists that are involved in this are also involved in biopolitics and also issues around life and death, issues around blood and sex, you know, and at the same time, they're also interested in making it so that you can do it at home, like a old style 1950s amateur science, you know, whether it's for a politic or not. Do you feel constrained by bureaucracy?
No, not really, because if you plan your things in advance and you know what you're going to do, then you can just do the right thing and write everything down, and then normally it gets approved. So,
What if you don't know what you're gonna do, or what if you decide like what's gonna happen?
Well, that's not the way it goes normally. Yeah.
Don't you do something weird every experiment? Every experiment you do something weird. Okay, not on camera. That's okay. Good, I like it. Excellent. I'm gonna wash my hands on that one. You're off the hook. Good answer. Okay. Your job is to write a standard report, which is that you have a premise and a theory, and you have a series of proofs, and then you have a conclusion. So even if you're not thinking scientifically, the structure of your final paper must be a scientific proof. And I have a problem with that, because I don't believe that all communication is based on that type of argument, right? Which is to say A, and I prove A by B, C, and D, and therefore A. But that is the format of your paper. Inside that format, there is room for play, and I will let you have play inside every paragraph. There can be a lot of play. Mostly what you should know is I'm interested in the wild, the biological, the food, the animal and your body readings coming together in a hybrid form in your mind, included with your experiences in the class and your feelings, what you feel, and your subjective experiences from these playful assignments and labs, right? And to try to say how it all comes together, but you don't have to say it all comes together like this. You can say it all doesn't come together like this, right? Like this is how all these things don't fit together. What I'm trying to show, I guess, for this class is how we define our relationship to the world of life, and how it maybe doesn't make sense.